Hi everyone, Salesforce integration training day 19. So last class we have started the real-time scenario Salesforce to LinkedIn, real-time integration between the Salesforce and LinkedIn. So Salesforce and I have LinkedIn. So we are sending a request to this LinkedIn from the Salesforce and LinkedIn is responding back to the Salesforce. So that means Salesforce is a client here and LinkedIn is the server. So yesterday's class which we have seen, we have implemented a Visual Force page and we have implemented Apex class. So on this Visual Force pages, on this Visual Force page, if I click on the connect LinkedIn, it will try to connect the LinkedIn. It will try to connect the LinkedIn. Once the LinkedIn account is connected, once the LinkedIn account is connected, then it will change the button to the complete authorization. If I click on a complete authorization, it says here successfully integration is done. At the same time, we have created an object called LinkedIn data. We have created an object called LinkedIn data. And LinkedIn data object is also get updated with the access token. So if I click on this, so there will be only one record, and this one record only we are updating LinkedIn info. So it is updated today 6:25, 7:12 right now. So here is the 8:28. This was the yesterday's date. Once it is successful, that means so far whatever we have done is two steps which we have done it. One is we are connecting with the LinkedIn. We are connecting the LinkedIn through the Salesforce. We are connecting the LinkedIn to the Salesforce. And then second one is the authentication. Now we have received the authentication, which is a status code is 200. Status code is 200. This is successful. Next we are going to do is, next thing we are doing the post. Once it is connected from the Salesforce point of view, what we will do is we will try to post a record or post a message from Salesforce to LinkedIn directly. That means from the post, we are going to post a message from the Salesforce to directly LinkedIn. That means it will directly click on the post button. It will directly click on the post button. Now, so far, now what is that means here? If I go to the LinkedIn page, now we have a post option is there. Right, so if I click on a post, so enter some data. Now here if I click on a post, enter some data here and then click on a post. This should be automatically done through the Salesforce. Now right now there are no activities. Now if you go down, there are only one activity is there. There is only one activity, show all posts, only one activity, there is no other activities are there. Now here, right? So this is the what we have implemented in the last class. Now what I'm going to do is, this is a Apex form, and this is the Apex class. In the Apex class, what I'm going to do is consumer key. What are the consumer key is there? This consumer key, I'll create a custom label. Instead of a hard coding here, what we can do is we can go to the Salesforce. Here is the custom label, and click on this custom label. Now here I'll create a new label. Let's say this is a LinkedIn consumer key. LinkedIn consumer key. LinkedIn consumer key. Let's copy this, paste it here. Click on save. Now I'm going to call this in developer console this class. Instead of hard coding this, what I'll do is I'll say public final string consumer key equal to system dot label dot what are the label name is there, that's the label name. Now click on a save. It saved it. Now what I'll do is again I'll test it. Just make sure that we are able to connect it. So code is received. Complete the authorization. Authorization is complete. We are able to connect it. So instead of a hard coding in the real time, what we can do is we can create a custom label or a custom settings, right? We can create a custom label or a custom setting. We can refer those here directly. We can refer those directly. So wherever I'm doing the hard coding, so assume that we can do it through the either custom label or custom settings, custom label or custom settings, or else in the same object you can create a one object, right? Custom settings, or you can create a some sample object and you can store all this data, which is a configuration one. Now next thing what I'm going to do is once we are done with the complete authorization, next I'm going to create a one more button here to get the basic information, Now we are moving one step ahead. That one step is how can I share on LinkedIn? Now in order to share on LinkedIn, now first thing is that I need to first get the information. What are the get information is there? I need to get those details. So that information is in so basically what I'll be doing is I'll send the information. I'll send the information to LinkedIn. What are the LinkedIn information is there? Get the access to LinkedIn. LinkedIn event. Okay, so I'll go ahead and I'll implement that. Well, let's next class. Let's save this. We recheck again. Click on connect LinkedIn. We are able to LinkedIn and the complete authorization. Yes, it is working. Now what I'll do is I'll implement another button to get the basic information, of what are the basic information is there. Once we receive the authorization, then I'll implement another block to, let's say, I'll implement another button here, apex colon, page block. Inside this, let's say here, apex colon page block button. Apex colon page block buttons, and the location is top. Let's keep it as a bottom. Now within this, I'm going to create a button, apex colon command buttons. Inside this, we are going to add a value equal to get basic information. So I'm going to get the information, and action is, let's implement the method for this. Let's say curly braces, exclamation, and method name is fetch basic information, basic info. Right, so this is, I'm going to get the basic information. Just like that, from the LinkedIn, I'm going to receive the information. From the LinkedIn, I'm going to receive the information in Salesforce side. Now let's implement a method. Okay, so public void fetch basic information. Now, in order to fetch the basic information, I need to implement a protocol here. So protocol is HTTP equal to new HTTP. Let me save this class. Now let me save this. Okay. So protocol, and then I'm going to implement a HTTP request. Let's say REQ equal to new HTTP request. Right, then HTTP response. RES equal to new HTTP response.
Swapna 90th line new spelling.
Okay. Now, so what I'm going to do is we have a class, right? Inside the class, we are storing the information of the LinkedIn data. So I'll capture this information. Whatever the latest information is there, I'll try to get this latest information. So list of list of LinkedIn data, and the name of this is, let's give it as a LinkedIn info list, LinkedIn info list or LinkedIn list, which I already have. Okay, LinkedIn info list. This is to get the whatever the data is there, access, token, and expires in Those all information is stored in the here. Now the next step is for this request. The method which I'm going to do is set method is get the information from the LinkedIn. Get the information from the LinkedIn. Now also I need to use the endpoint. Set endpoint. And my endpoint is, this is the endpoint. I'll take that endpoint. https:/. Now this same endpoint, what I do is I need to create a remote site settings because this endpoint and the previous endpoint both are different. Both are different. So I'll go to the here remote site settings. Click on remote site settings and click on the new remote site settings. This is LinkedIn API. LinkedIn API. Let's keep this. Click on save. Perfect. This endpoint is added into the remote site setting. Now I need to set the header. Set header. Header is I have to set the two types of it. One is I need to set authorization here. Authorization. And then the data which I'm going to give is what are the access token is there, that access token of 0 dot access token. And in front of this, I'll be adding the keyword called barrier. I'll be adding the keyword called barrier and the space and what are the access token is there. And another header also we need to add it, set header, which is a content type. Content hyphen type. And the value that I'm going to add it is application/JSON. Application/JSON. Now let me save this. Okay. Now the next step is we have a method endpoint header. Now these all data is there. Now next step is go for a try. We have to send the information response dot res equal to http.send and it should be req. Click on save. Now let me add the catch. System.exception E. Now here I'm going to print system.debug. Let's say exception occurred. It's same as the previously whatever I have written. System.debug exception occurred. Whatever the string is there, the string and then message. Perfect. Now in case if I wanted to show on the Visualforce page, then I can go ahead and get this error message. Copy the error message in the whatever we have done it yesterday. I'll say here if whatever the e dot message, e dot message, e dot get message. If it is starting with, if it is starts with unauthorized. Endpoint. Then I'm going to show the error message. And this has to be is here the unauthorized, it has to be, let's give it here string dot value of string dot value of string dot value of unauthorized endpoint. If it is the one, then get the error message and show that error message onto the Visual Force page. This is get message. Get message starts with unauthorized endpoint. Condition is a string. Value of e dot message. Condition expression must be in Boolean. String value of e dot. This is a string. Dot starts with unauthorized. This should be res. Error message is not declared, so I'll do declaration here. String error message equal to no. Okay, so unauthorized means assuming that it is in the remote site setting, it has to be entered. So what I'll do is, instead of unexpected error, what I'll do is unauthorized endpoint. I'll say that an administrator must go to set up administrator, administer, and then security control. Security control, and then from there they have to go to the, let's keep this. They have to go to the remote site settings. And add, they have to add the, what are the endpoint is there? What are the endpoint? So the endpoint is, this is the endpoint. Add endpoint. Okay, so this is unauthorized. This is unauthorized. Now, in case if there are any other errors, we will see that later. Now here, try. So we are getting the response. Once I get the response, then I'm going to check whether my status code res dot get status code equal to, if it is a 200, then I'm going to get the information I'm going to get the information. Now the information, what are the information is that we are receiving it? That information I'll convert into the map. Map of string come object. Let's say this is basic info. Let's token info equal to map of string comma object, and then I'm going to deserialize the response. JSON dot deserialized untyped, and then within this I'm going to give res dot get body. We have the information of all the information. Now let's see what we are going to get it. System dot debug. Token information. Less token info. Let's see the response, whether I'm getting it or not. String, let's say let's go to the Visual Force. Now, first I'll click on the connect LinkedIn. So it will connect the LinkedIn. Now complete the authorization. Now I'm getting the basic info. Before clicking on the basic info, I'll just clear the logs. Click on get basic info. Let's see what I'm getting output. So we got the response, 200 is the response. Now what is the information that we have received? I'm getting the basic draft. What are the LinkedIn? Basic information is there. I'm getting those LinkedIn, like a first name, last name. Now let me show you this. So we are getting what are the first name of the person, first name, and within the first name I have a localized. And then we are getting the EN. So that is a localized, and the preferred locale. Inside the preferred locale, we are getting the country US and the language is EN. Then we are closing this, and then we are closing first name details. After that, I am receiving the LinkedIn ID. Then I have received the last name. This is the last name. In the last name also localized, and we are receiving the EN underscore US ready. And then here preferred locale, we are getting the information here, which is a country, US, language, and then finally I'm closing this, closing the last name. This is the last name details, and then we have a localized first name equal to Madhusudan, localized last name equal to Reddy. Profile picture. So what are the profile picture is there? I'm getting the profile picture details. Now this is the image, and here I'm going to close the information. And I'm going to close the information. So these are information which we are getting it. These are information which we are getting it. Now I'll get the first name, last name, and profile picture, whatever the ID is there. I'll try to get this information and let me compile those details. Now from the map, let's say string first name, string first name equal to string dot value of token info. Whatever this token info is there, token info dot get. I want to get the first name,
First name.
get first name, and then similarly I'm going to get the last name, string dot last name equal to string dot value of token dot get last name. Similarly, I'm going to get the profile pic. Let's say this name is a headline. And here I'm going to get the profile pic, profile picture. And after that, I'm going to get the ID. ID is PRN. And here I'm going to get ID. Let's say now. I'm going to get, now here I'm going to build the all the first name, last name, everything I'm going to combine it and I save the information into the one string variable. So public string basic info. This data I'll be sending into the Visual Force page. Get set. Now this I'm going to combine all the details, whatever I have received it, all the details, I'm going to combine it. Basic info, all those information, we are going to combine it. Now here I am receiving the basic info equal to first name plus last name plus headline plus PRN. Okay, just to make it differentiate, I'll add a space between this. Now one space between the first name and last name. Similarly, I'll add a space here. Similarly, I'll add space here also. Okay, now my basic info is ready. Now this basic info, what I'll do is, I wanted to show this basic info details. Now let's save this. It's been saving. Okay, now I'm going to display this information. Let's say that apex colon output panel. Yes, output panel. Now here I'm going to display the basic info. Basic info. Let's say. Now let's click on this connect LinkedIn. LinkedIn is connected, complete the authorization, get the basic info. Now it is displaying the basic info. Localized, right? This is the one, and then we are receiving the whatever this URN digital, all these things are there, we are receiving it. Now this information, we need it in order to post the details. In order to post the details, we need this information. Share on LinkedIn. Right, so this information is being needed because there it is the person ID. I'm getting the person ID. So person ID is nothing but which is a PRN. Whatever the ID is there, that is the ID. Right, we have gone through this request and we have received the response. The response we have received is all this first name, last name, right? Localized ID. So ID is important because whenever I'm doing the post, it will ask you that through which ID do you wanted to post it? Through which ID do you wanted to post it? Through which person? As a which author do you want to post this information? As a which author you wanted to post this information. So the person you are, the person you are. Now we are getting the person you are in here. Now the person you are in is this one. Person you are in is yes. Let me copy that. This is my person you are in, which is similar to the ID. Which is similar to the ID. Now I got the person details. I received the person details. Now what I'm going to do is I'll just add a render here. Now in this command button, what I'll do is I'll add a renderer. I just add a, let's say re-render. Re-render whenever I have the this output label is displaying it. So I'll give a ID equal to the panel. Now whenever we are displaying the panel, then I'm going to render it, re-render. Click on save. Now let me show you again. Connect complete authorization. Get basic info. So it will re-render only this part. Before what was happening is the entire page was re-rendering. Before entire page was re-rendering. So I want this message to be displayed as well as the get basic info also I wanted to display. So that's the reason I have added re-render only this part. Whenever we have a basic info, I'm calling this the panel, output panel, right? So only this part needs to be re-rendered. Now I have the ID, the person ID information, I have it. Once I have the person ID information, then what I'll do is I'll implement another button here, apex colon, let's say command button. This time we are going to share the post on LinkedIn. Share post on LinkedIn. And the action which I'm going to implement a method on the apex, let's say share post. Share post is the method. Let's save this, and this also should be re-rendered. Whenever I have an output panel, this also should be re-rendered. I'm saving this. Let's save this. It is not there, so let's go ahead and implement the method. Now this time I'm implementing another method, which is a public void share post. Let's say now let me save the visual post. Now whatever we have done it for the first fetching the business basic information, I'll copy this 4 lines because that is the 4 lines which is needed here also. code line which we needed here. Now here I'll say instead of a same name, I'll click here, I'll say new. Right, I'm creating the error message and protocol defined request response, and I'm getting the access token details. Now what we are going to do, we are going to post in the LinkedIn. We are going to post in the LinkedIn. Now in order to post in the LinkedIn, I have to share on post. Now this is the URL. This is the URL which we have to post it. This is the endpoint. Let me copy this. Go to the developer console. Now here, first let me set the request dot set endpoint. Now let's set the method first.
Swapna, this URL we no need to add it remote settings.
In remote site settings, it is already there. Let's check that. REQ set endpoint. So API linkedin.com. Because this is the same URL which we have used it. This is the same URL which we have used it here. api.linkedin.com for getting v2/me, that is the profile information. Here I am posting it, v2/UGC post, but this basic URL is same.
No, got it, Swapna.
Okay, so that's the one, and then request dot set header. In the header, we are going to set authorization, which we have to set it. So I'll use the same thing, whatever we did it in previously. So we are going to take this header. Set header here. LinkedIn info list new. And what is endpoint header, and along with this we also need to set the information x-li. This also we need to set it. This is also we needed 2.00. Now I need to set it in the header. That is the one. REQ dot set header. Version, and then similarly we need to set the version here 2.0.0. Similarly, I need to set up another request set header here, which is I need to specify the format is a JSON format. I need to set format is a JSON format. For that, we need to specify the li.format. Save. Now we are done with this. Now this is post. Now while posting it, I need to build a body. The structure body, I need to build it. So string request body. In this request body, I need to set up author. Now these all information is the request body. Now let's go to the developer console. Now, so request body initially I'll add open bracket and then plus. We are going to add the author. Author, and in author, person is not this person. Person is the ID we are receiving it. What are the ID that we are receiving? That is the person. And the next one is lifestyle, which is as we say published. And next specified content. Specified content. Opening up the specified content. Inside this, we have a com.linkedin.ugc share content. Okay. And sharing the content information. And this is the sharing the content information. What is the content we are sharing? Text. Text, we are sharing it. Text. And this is hello world. This is my post. Share on LinkedIn. So this is the message it is going to post it. This is the message it is going to post it. Now we are ending it here. We are ending. Perfect. And then share medium. This is in case if you wanted to post videos or any pictures, then we have to use the share media category. And then I'm closing this. Similarly, I'm closing this also. And after that, we have a visibility. Visibility is public com.linkedin. Network visibility is public. That means everybody can see the information. Once this is done, then I have to close this. And then I need to close this one also. That's it. This is the on top level, right? Now finally, what are the request body is there? This request body, I'm going to set it into the
Swapna, we need to add ID, right?
REQ dot
ID.
ID. We have already added the ID. Did not be
Request, we did not set the ID, I think.
here. It is the ID.
Stop. I thought Swapna, that is also constant right now. Can we add it through the
Okay.
variable?
Person ID is same.
Okay.
Okay, but in case if you want to add it, then what you have to do is you need
From
to
the response, I have to type in variable and I have to add.
yes. So custom label or basic information. In the basic information, what are the ID you are getting it this ID? The ID store it as a global
Global variable, we
and
can
then
pass.
refer that global variable here.
Yeah. Okay, Swapna.
So I have added the ID. Let me save this. 142. Okay. Let's say. Okay, so now I'm having set body is done. Once this is done, now let's send the information, try and catch. System dot exception. Exception you will see later. Now here I'm going to check whether my first I need to send the response res equal to http dot send. I'm going to send the request. Whatever the request we are getting it, whatever the request we are getting it, which is res dot get status code, whether it is equal to 200 or this is a post. Either it will be 200 or it will be 201. For posting the data, the successful response is either 200 or 201. Now, in this case, whatever the response is there, right? This response, if it is equal to 200, then I'm going to show that this message is posted successfully. And whatever this request body is there, let me post it.
Swapna, one question. Sorry to disturb you actually. If I wanted to post a picture or something from the static resource, I have to upload, right?
Yeah, you need to specify the media category. So
Oh.
let me show you that. So here you have a media category article. Okay, so this tag you need to add it. Right now we have mentioned media category is none. In case you have any media category, article or any URL or anything you wanted to post it, you need to add this media information.
Mhm.
Okay, so if it is successful, what I'll do is I'm going to post the information on the Visual Force page. So which is this one, I'll take this information. Text pages, confirm, and we are going to, instead of saying this, congratulations, I'm going to say this. Post has been shared successfully. Click on save. In case if you wanted to see what is the information, first let's see what is the output I'm getting it. Click on here, refresh. Connect LinkedIn. Start signing. Complete the authorization. Success, get basic information. I got the basic information and I'll click on here, share post on LinkedIn. I'm not getting the message. Let me see what is the output. Post has been shared successfully, but only the thing is that I'm not getting the message here. We will see that later. Now if I go to the post, click on a refresh. Now it has posted. Hello world, this is my first share on LinkedIn. This is my first share on the LinkedIn. And this is how it is posted. Let me delete this or else let it be there. Now I'll go here. Now the reason the message I'm not displaying here is, let's do one thing. Now what I'll do is whatever this request is there, this request I'll send it to the visual post page. Shared information equal to request body. Shared information equal to request body. Now what is this shared information is there? Now this I'm going to set it globally. That means on top level, and say here public string shared information get and set. Now whatever this shared information is there, I'll display on the visual course page. Here I'm going to display. Shared information. So what I need to do is let me keep this in order to render this, re-render this form. Once we have the information, I'll give the ID to in this. I'll say that this is the ID form and it has to be re-rendered. Whatever the information is there here, the re-render it should happen on the form level also. On the form level, it should happen. So if you mention this is just a re-render, but this is the entire concept. This is entire concept. Now, if you see here, I'm going to change the message this time. I'll say that this is hello world, this is my second share on the LinkedIn. Click on and say, let connect to LinkedIn. Now, if you are posting the same message, you will give the error message because it will not allow you to post a duplicate message. It will not allow you to post a duplicate messages. In that scenario, it will give the error. I'll show you that. Share on the post. Now post has been successfully shared. What is the post has been successfully shared? This one. Now, if you see here, refresh. Now I can see that two messages. Two messages has been posted. Well, this is the first share, this is the second share. Let me delete this. But in case if you want to add a media or anything, let me add this information. Now, in case if you want to add this media, just copy this information and you need to put it there. And what are the text you wanted to change it? You just change the text and similarly original URL you need to change it. So that's all about the real-time scenario integration, real-time integration between the Salesforce and
LinkedIn.
LinkedIn. So what are the steps which we have done is first step is in server. In server, what we have done, implemented connected app. In server, connected app is implemented. Once the connected app is implemented, then what we have done is we have shared to client. Now in the client, first what we need to is we need to register client ID client secret, right? I need to register client ID, client secret, and as well as I need to user ID, password. User ID, password. Before this, I need to do the remote side setting in the client side. Remote side setting in the client. Remote side setting. And then we have to register this. And once we have registered, then after that, we need to from client to server, enable the connection. Once it is enabled the connection, then we have to get the access token. Get access token from server to client, server to client, and then once we have the access token, either you wanted to do the get command or post command, either you can do the get command or else you can do the post command. Now here, if it is a get the basic information of server, get the basic information of the server. Then we need to do the post a message on server. From client to server. And these are the steps which we have done it. Server connected app and client side create a remote side settings. Then in the client side, we need to register the client ID, client secret, user ID, password. Then once this is done, the next step is we need to enable the connection. Once we have enabled the connection, we need to get the access token from the server and pass it to client. Once we have the information, either you wanted to get it, or else you wanted to post the data, you can post it. Now for LinkedIn, getting is important because we are getting the user ID. If I have the user ID, then only I can post it.
Swapna, correct me if I am wrong. Here, server connected app in the sense LinkedIn developer, we have to create our own app, right?
Yeah, so in the LinkedIn,
LinkedIn developers, we have to create our app and we need to register those client and secret.
yes, which contains the client ID.
Secret.
Client,
Based on a client ID, user authentication will be processed. From there, we will get the ID. From there, we do the posting.
yes. right? So those are the steps. So that's what is completed today. Let me stop the recording.